No, it's not a dumb question, and that's generally, one of the first questions I get is, what is crypto, when people approach it or see it for the first time? It's not something, almost any of us grew up with. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. It came about in 2009, and that was the one that really started the ball rolling. Now there are hundreds of different cryptocurrencies, and they're proliferating almost every day because it's become so easy for somebody to spin up a coin or a project. What is crypto? Crypto is digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, and people sort of derogatorily refer to it as imaginary internet money in a lot of different ways, and that's because it doesn't have a physical form. There's no like printed, Bitcoin I can go and get at a bank. But really what it is a decentralized monetary system, and that's a really complicated thing to unpack. But what that means is that is a digital currency that can be exchanged in a peer-to-peer way without an intermediary or a central thing in between, like a PayPal app, for example, or like a bank or Venmo. These are all companies that help facilitate the movement of money digitally. Cryptocurrencies, one of the big appeal of them is that you can cut those middlemen out, and you can be sort of the self-sovereign person in control of your own money in a way that you aren't if you deposit it in a bank. Blockchains, there are many different kinds of them. There are a lot of them. It is not just a singular thing, but the basic idea is it's a digital ledger. And a ledger just means, it's a book of accounts in some ways of money going in, money going out, but no one entity or person or company controls that ledger. That ledger is spread across tons of different computers, or what's known as nodes, and that can be servers, computers, other digital devices around the world, and they're all working in concert to validate that blockchain or that ledger in real time. And so what that means, you have a self-reinforcing network that's supporting these currencies that can be just transacted between people. And so that's at a really base level, that's what a cryptocurrency or crypto is. What dictates the value for a decentralized currency? Really the people buying it, right? The amount of demand for it. The more people demand it, the more it's going to go up in value. And it's also slightly different if you look at deflationary currencies, which means that there's only going to ever be a certain amount created. And that's the case certainly with Bitcoin. You have other cryptocurrencies as well that are deflationary in nature. And if you hold that up in contrast to something like the dollar, a real narrative around Bitcoin in particular, is that it's a hedge against inflation. And though I somewhat question that narrative in practice in a few different ways. The idea is that, the federal government can print more money. And currently we're living in a time where it's like 8.3% inflation right now. And so that means people's buying power is actually decreasing. Their savings are decreasing in value in terms of what they can do. And decentralized currencies, but cryptocurrencies in particular, are meant to sort of be a way out of that sort of system that's controlled by a federal bank, for example, that's setting the rules of the cash game that we're all engaging in. And so, it's sort of supply and demand that determines the value around cryptocurrencies more generally, and that's what helps push that number go up and number go down aspect that we see happening, let's just say a lot, because those numbers are certainly going up and down almost constantly. So crypto's down right now, and in some cases people have written articles or said crypto is dead, right? And I think that's not the case. I think it's a little bit short-sighted just because those articles were also written 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. It's kind of a running joke where, these articles get written every so often, and it's usually during a downturn like this, but crypto has continued to survive. And I don't think it's going anywhere.